Hello friends, welcome to this video lecture. I am Dr. R.P. Singh Kushwaha. I am a structural designer and chartered engineer. I am professor in Civil Engineering Department, Global Institute of Technology, Jaipur. So, in this class, we are going to design of gantry girder. So, we will see all the uh, specific parts of the gantry girder to be designed. So, welcome, carefully watch the video. Thank you. So first of all, we will see the design steps taken for designing of the gantry girder. Steps to be started, but before starting the steps, we have to look at the assumptions, some of assumptions which are made before designing the gantry girder. First assumption is entire section resist vertical loads only, and second is compression flange of the gantry girder resist the horizontal forces. Okay, so now we are going to start the design steps. So first design step, first of all, we have to find out the maximum loads coming on the gantry girder. For finding out maximum shear force and maximum bending moment on the gantry girder, which will be the support reactions of the crane girder at the minimum hook approach and the factor loads. Then second step, calculate bending moment due to horizontal thrust, which is known as surge load. So horizontal thrust of the crane girder to gantry girder is taken as 10% total load of trolley weight plus load lifted. So like this we can find out the horizontal thrust or surge load. Then step third, calculate shear force on gantry girder due to vertical load and horizontal thrust. After calculating shear force, then we have to provide a section, or we have to try a section. Before trying the section, we have some thumb rules suggested by S code. So A, or first number, is economic depth is to be taken 1/12 to 1/15 of effective span. Second, width of compression flange may be taken as 1/25 of the span, or you can say 1/25 to 1/30 of the span. This is the range. And then C, or third thumb rule, is moment of resistance of the section should be 40% more than that of maximum bending moment. So you have to be clear about it, that moment of resistance of the girder or the section selected by you should be 40% more than that of oncoming or upcoming bending moment actually on the gantry girder due to the vertical load, so that section can resist combined moment. Combined moment means the moment due to surge as well as moment of due to vertical loads. Okay, then fifth, calculate IZZ and IYY and plastic section modulus ZP of the trial section. So on finding this ZP, we can estimate the strength of the plate girder, the next step is carry out classification of the trial section. So this classification is to be carried out just for knowing that the section is plastic or not. So you may or may not carry out this classification. Then we have to make a check for the moment capacity of the section. You have to find out the moment of resistance of the provided section. It should be more than 40% more than the maximum bending moment. Okay. Then check for shear capacity of the section. So the stress, shear stress, which should be in the in the permissible limit. Then check for buckling failure, and then next check for deflections, or you have to check if the deflection is within the limit or not. Okay, so now coming to the topic, or uh, as you can see, the section, this is a sectional elevation of the gantry girder. This is crane girder. This is crane girder. This is crane or trolley, and this is hook. And this distance from hook to this column is known as minimum hook approach. You can see here, this is minimum hook approach. And this is the span of the gantry girder. No, this is the span of the crane girder. Okay. And these two are gantry girder, one here and another here. You can see same in this plan. This is crane girder, this is crane girder, and this is crane, and this is gantry girder, having one support here and another support here. There are two columns. Gantry girder is resting on this column one end and resting on other column at this end. So this is a span of the gantry girder. So you can look at this. This is the span of the gantry girder. Clear? Now you can see the sectional cross section of the gantry girder here in this diagram. So this is I section, and a channel section is covering over this I section, and the on channel section there is a track made here, and this is rolling wheel which the crane girder rolls to and fro. Okay, so now design of the gantry girder, come to the design part of the gantry girder. So here's a problem given for designing the section. So design a gantry girder for crane capacity of 200 kilonewton. Span of gantry girder is 7.5 meter. A span of crane girder is 15 meter, and self weight of the crane girder is 7.5 meter, and span of crane girder is 15 meter, and self weight of the crane girder girders, both excluding crane or trolley weight, is 200 kilonewton. Self weight of trolley or crane is 30 kilonewton, and minimum hook approach is 1 meter, and CC distance of the crane girder is 3.5 meter, means both crane girder are 3.5 meter apart from each other. or the reactions from crane girder to gantry girder will be 3.5 meter apart. Okay, then self weight of rail section gantry girder is 0.3 kilonewton per meter, and take Fy equal to 250 MPa. Clear? Now, first of all, what to do? We will calculate the loads on the crane girder first. So, first of all, crane and crane girder both having the load of self weight of the crane girder and weight lifted. So, this total load is 30 plus 200. So, total of 230 kilonewton. This is the weight of crane plus weight lifted by the crane. So this is the total crane load coming to the crane girders. Now self weight of crane girders equal to, it is given 200 kilonewton for 15 meter length. So we will find out the per meter length weight. So 200 divided by 15, it comes out to be 13.33 kilonewton per meter. Okay, now our target to find out load on gantry girder. So crane girder is supported by crane girder is supported by four wheels, four supports on both gantry girders, and on two supports or two wheels on each gantry girder. The distance between the two wheels is 3.5 meter each other. So firstly, we have to find out load on the gantry girder. So we can see here, this is crane girder and this is self weight of crane girder 13.33, and a load by the crane or trolley is imposed on both of the crane girders, that is 230 kilonewton. So analyzing this, so Ra will be equal to 314.67 kilonewton, and this will be maximum when the hook approach is 1 meter. Okay, so we have taken the maximum reaction Ra, that is 314.67 kilonewton, and this reaction will be transferred to gantry girder by two wheels. Okay, so this is the thing to understand. So the force is divided into two equal parts because two wheels will distribute this force to gantry girder. So this comes out to be 157.33 kilonewton. Now factor this load 1.5 times. So it comes out to be 236 kilonewton on each load, each wheel. Now load on gantry girder, you can see in this diagram, dead load on the gantry girder. Dead load is the self weight of gantry girder plus rail, which is, you can see here, the 2 kilonewton is the self weight of the gantry girder and 0.3 is uh, weight of rail, dead load of rail. So the total dead load on the gantry girder is 2.3 kilonewton per meter. Now factor this load. So 1.5 times 2.3, it comes to be 3.45 kilonewton per meter. This is the dead load on the gantry girder. Okay, so now we have to understand the position of the forces for maximum binding moment, and this will be due to live load because this dead load is fixed. This is self weight of the gantry girder, but the live load will move to and fro. So we have to find out the situation or position of the loads due to which the maximum bending moment is generated on this gantry girder. So the situation will be like this, as you can see in this figure, above figure, and also we are analyzing it and we are explaining it. The CG of the load system, this should be at the equal distance from the center of this gantry girder, uh, equal distance from the center of the uh, gantry girder to one of the loads, as you can see here. So this will be the condition for the maximum bending moment. So then the maximum bending moment will be under one load. Clear? So calculation of maximum bending moment. So first of all, we have to calculate for the dead load. So this is the diagram of gantry girder having 7.5 meter span, and this is 3.45 kilonewton per meter factored load. So the maximum bending moment generated by this is 24.26 kilonewton meter. Now for live load, because live load is point load transferred by wheels of the gantry girder or crane girder, sorry. So this load system is in the same way for the condition, satisfying the condition for maximum bending moment, as you are seeing in this diagram. And so RA and RB, we can find out RA to be 291.867 kilonewton and RB will be 180.93 kilonewton, and maximum bending moment will be under the load at D. So maximum bending moment comes out to be 520.17 kilonewton meter. Now, because impact load also effect of impact will be there. So moment due to impact. So we assume it 20% of the maximum bending moment. So the moment due to impact will come out to be 104.03 kilonewton meter. So we are seeing first by the self weight of the gantry girder, and then second due to live loads, point loads, and third due to impact. So total bending moment on gantry girder will be sum of 1, 2, and 3. So on addition, it comes out to be 648.46 kilonewton. Okay. Now, horizontal bending moment due to horizontal thrust or surge load. So for this, we have we are guided by the IS code. The horizontal load or the thrust or surge load will be 10% of the weight of trolley plus weight lifted. So 10% of this 230 will be 23 kilonewton. But this total 23 kilonewton load will be distributed by 4 wheels on the gantry girders. So this per wheel load comes out to be 5.75, and now factor this. So on factoring it, it comes out to be 8.625 kilonewton. So surge bending moment on proportion basis, we found out this moment on proportion basis. You can see the proportions. For load 236 kilonewton, the maximum bending moment comes out to be 648.46. So for 1 kilonewton load, this will be 648 divided by 236. Okay. So for 8.625, this bending moment will be 648.46 divided by 236 multiplied by 8.625. So this horizontal surge bending moment comes out to be 23.68 kilonewton meter. Now find out the maximum shear force in gantry girder due to vertical force. So this will be, we all know, the maximum shear force will occur when the one force will be at the end. So we can find out the values of RA and RB. So RB comes out to be 123.07 kilonewton and RA comes out to be 374.80 kilonewton. So taking the maximum, this is first load, which is 374.80 kilonewton. Then the horizontal shear force due to surge load. So total surge load, as we have already seen, we assume it 10% of the weight of trolley plus weight lifted. So it comes out to be 23 kilonewton, and this load is distributed by 4 wheels. So this comes out to be 5.75 kilonewton, and on factoring this comes out to be 8.625 kilonewton. So this load is second load. Now due to impact, this we assume 20% of the maximum shear force or maximum reaction at A, maximum reaction. So that it comes out to be 74.96 kilonewton. Now there are three forces. First RA reaction, then second is factored load 8.625, and then third is due to impact 74.96. So the maximum shear force or the total shear force is addition of 1, 2 and third. So on addition we get 458.38 kilonewton load as shear force. So now proportionate surge shear due to surge load, because there will be horizontal thrust, so we have to calculate the surge shear also. So for live load 236 kilonewton, shear force is 374.80. Again we are calculating on proportion base. So for 1 kilonewton it will be 374.80 divided by 236. Okay, so for 8.625 kilonewton it will be 374.80 divided by 236 multiplied by 8.625. So this horizontal or the proportionate surge shear comes out to be 13.70 kilonewton. Now provide a section for gantry girder. So there are some thumb rules as we have already seen in the design steps. So economic depth should be in between L by 12 divided to L by 15. Say you assume it L by 12, then the depth of the web of the section will come out to be 7,500 divided by 12, and it comes out to be 625. So assume it lump sum 600 mm. So say 600 mm will be the depth of the gantry girder. Now flange width should be in between L by 25 to L by 30. So width of flange BF comes out to be 7,500 divided by 30. So it comes out to be 250, say 250 mm. Okay. So now provide a section ISWB 600, which size is 250 by 600, and ISLC 350. So the gantry girder will be like this. This is ISWB 600 and this is ISLC 350. Okay, so these are the properties, area and other properties of the sections. Now assume that the CG of this section will lie at Y bar. So first of all we have to find out the CG of this combined section. So as we all know, AY bar should be equal to A2 A1 Y bar IX plus AC Y bar IY, because you can see this is the section in natural condition or I section, but this C section is turned by 90 degree. So the IY will be here with Ixx or the girder. So the Y bar comes out to be 358.25 mm. Now, moment of inertia of this composite section. So Ixx will be for I section, Ixx into Ixx plus AH square, plus for C section, channel section, it will be Iyy plus AH square, because we have tilted by 90 degrees. So we will take Iyy in accordance to Ixx of I section. Okay. So on solution, on solving this, we get 1.47 into 10 raised to power 9 mm4 moment of inertia of the composite section. Now find out the Zx, or the section modulus in x direction. So it will be I divided by y. So this comes out to be 1.47 into 10 raised to power 9 divided by 358.25, as we have taken here this y bar. So it comes out to be 4.11 into 10 raised to power 6 mm cube for the vertical loads. Okay. Now Iyy of the composite section will be equal to Iyy of the I section plus Ixx of C section. So because the axis is the same, axis is single axis, then these two will be added directly. So this comes out to be 146.11 into 10 raised to power 6 mm cube. Okay. So in lateral direction, the strength or the section modulus of the gantry girder will be Zy, which is Iyy divided by Y max. So Y max will be 175, just half of the channel section. Okay. So this comes out to be 8.35 into 10 raised to power 5 mm cube for horizontal surge. Now we have to check the capacity or moment of resistance of the sections for these calculations. So the maximum bending moment is 648.46 kilonewton meter, or you can say 648.46 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm. So now moment of resistance of the section in x direction. So it should be Zx into Fy. Here Zx is 4.11 into 10 raised to power 6 multiplied by Fy 250. So it comes out to be 1027.5 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm, or you can say this moment of resistance is far more than the maximum upcoming bending moment. Hence it's safe and okay. Now check for horizontal or surge bending moment. So the surge bending moment is 23.68 kilonewton meter, or you can say 23.68 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm. So moment of resistance Mr should be Zy into Fy. So 8.35 into 10 raised to power 5 multiplied by 250 Fy. So it comes out to be 208.75 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm, which is far more again than 23.68 into 10 raised to power 6 maximum bending moment in horizontal or lateral direction. Hence the design is perfect and okay for the maximum bending moment, or check for the maximum bending moment of the section. So now check for shear capacity of the section. So vertical load is 458.38 kilonewton, as we have calculated earlier, and surge load is 13.7 kilonewton. So the capacity of the section should be 0.6 times V, or it should be 40% more, as we have already discussed for the bending moment. So we are taking same in the shear force also. So 0.6 V is 0.6 into AV multiplied by Fy divided by root 3 into gamma MO. So this comes out to be 1014.71 into 10 raised to power 3 kilonewton uh, Newton, or you can say 1014.71 kilonewton, which is again far more than the upcoming shear force 458.38 kilonewton. Hence it's okay in this vertical force shear check. Now check for deflection of the section. So as per IS 800-2007 table number 6, the maximum permissible limit for deflection of the cantilever is delta should not be more than L by 150. So it comes out to be 7,500 divided by 150. It comes out to be 50 mm. Means the deflection in the cantilever should not be more than 50 mm for this case. So actual deflection in girder delta will be 5WLQ divided by 384 EI. So here W is 268 kilonewton, the load's wheel load, and E is Young's modulus 2 into 10 raised to power 5. I is moment of inertia, which we have already taken out. So it is 1.47 10 raised to power 9 mm4. So on solving this, delta comes out to be 5.007 mm, which is far less than 50 mm the permissible deflection. So hence our design is okay. Now we have to check it in buckling also. So for buckling check, the moment of resistance MR should be beta into ZP into FBD, where beta is 1 for plastic section, FBD is 200 MPa as recommended by ICE code. So this comes up to be 1 into 4.11 into 10 raised to power 6 into 200. So the total moment of resistance comes out to be 822 or 822 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm, which is far more than maximum upcoming bending moment 648.46 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm. Hence our design is okay and safe in all respects. So it's all about the design of gantry girder. So thank you very much.